You ever get the urge to pick up a stray animal on your way home from the adult toy store? Well, this game's kind of about that. Kinda, not really. Hi, this is Dave. Welcome back to another Sophus Buddies video. We're gonna play Do Not Take This Cat Home. It's an indie horror game. You can find it on itch.io. Link will be in the description. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and do that other thing. I forgot what it's called. I might remember it by the end of this video. Check back later. This game is not suitable for children or the easily disturbed. It includes depiction of horror elements, human-animal violence, and death. Abuse, abusive relationships, disturbing images, loud noises, flashing images, lights, and more. Individuals suffering from anxiety, depression, or certain fears, phobias, may not have a safe experience playing this game. You're not having a great day as usual. Why not? Oh, great. It's the first time in a while that you felt like going out. But in the middle of your walk, it starts to rain. Typical, but maybe this is just a sign that you should have stayed home today. Yeah, you could always try again tomorrow, right? You turn to head home when... Huh, what was that? There are only a few people around on the street. Makes sense due to the increase in missing Pearsons around the area recently. Pearsons. Yeah, all these missing Pearsons, all these holes. Well, that and the weather. But none of them react to that sound at all. Did I even read anymore? Curiosity guiding your steps. You follow the sound to the entrance of a dark, dingy alleyway. You timidly enter the alley and walk forward. The group, dampened by the rain, makes your steps sound louder and more confident than you actually feel. The ground. Where do I get the group from? This is going to be a long game. Meow. Finally, the sound source comes into view in the cold, dim light of the alley. At the end of the alley, in a big cardboard box, is a cat. Huh. Guess that should have been obvious. It's an interesting looking cat. Its pretty yellow eyes shine like gold among the dark sea of black fur. It puts up its front paws on the edge of the box and looks up at you. Yes. That's so cute. And it definitely knows it. You've never had much of an opinion one way or another about cats before. But if they're like this one, it is a shock they haven't already found the way to rule the world. You don't think you'd mind bowing down to a feline overlord. You... ... You look around the alleyway with a small frown. Who leaves a cat in a cardboard boxes these days around? Let me do that again. Who leaves cats in a cardboard box? I know. Who leaves cats in cardboard boxes these days anyway? Wouldn't they just jump out and leave the box eventually? The cat doesn't answer you. Obviously. It also doesn't do as you suggest and leave the box. It's just looking at you. As if it's waiting to make the next move. Well, the name of the game is Don't Take the Cat Home, so we'll start with that, right? With a sigh, you take a decisive step back. As cute as the cat is, you really can't afford to be taking in a pet without a whim. Rent's coming up soon, and your job doesn't exactly leave you rolling in dough. You give the cat a sad nod. Sorry, good luck out there, okay? Rare. Sorry, cat. You turn around and leave the cat in the alleyway behind. Rain's picking up. Time to head home. Ending? Nyata fool. Okay, well, I didn't take the cat home. So, there's that. So, this is going to have multiple endings, so let's do that again. Alright, now we're going to take the cat home. You know what? Come on, pal. You reach into the box and pick up the cat, holding it out in front of you. Why not? You're all done. You're all alone, and well, I'm kind of in the same boat myself, so. You bring the cat close. You didn't realize it was shivering until you just then, but it slowly breathes easier as it presses onto your chest. Why not stick together, right? At least for a little while. Yeah, I know that sound all too well. You think a little while would probably mean more like a day. You'll be responsible and take it to a shelter tomorrow, but for now, let's get you out of the rain, okay? Damn right. You stop by a small local pet store for some cat food, then head back home. You live in a modest apartment. On a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. Brown nose. You live in it alone. So it feels weird having another living being inside the house after so long. Even if it's just a cat. After locking the front door and placing the cat on the floor, you watch for a moment as it curiously explores the new environment. Leaving the feline to his own devices, you set about making the both of you some dinner. You take out the can of cat food and open it with the tab on the top. You put some cat food on a saucer and click your tongue to call the cat over to you. It perks up at your beckoning and rushes over. Good lord. It looks at the plate of food. It doesn't like fish. Probably. It completely ignores it. See, I told you. Friggin' ingrate. Not hungry, I guess. Wants to eat you. You try not to let it annoy you. The cat doesn't understand the concept of money and to appreciate that you spend your hard-earned cash on it. It's just a cat after all. I'll just leave it here if you get hungry later, okay? The cat rubs his body against your legs with a purr, warming up to his food. You smile. That's enough of a thanks for you. It follows you into the kitchen as you start your own dinner. You decide that you had enough ingredients for a sandwich. Bread toasted. Mayo and mustard spread. That's disgusting. I don't eat mayo. This is not immersive at all. Turkey and cheese, lettuce perfectly placed. Tomato sliced. Ow! You wince as you cut your finger on the knife with a slicing tomato. Yeah, the cat's gonna want the blood, and yeah. Feed me. Stupid. You feel a little embarrassed for such a blunder and a sigh, tossing the knife onto the cutting board. You're about to head to the bathroom for a bandage when the cat hops up on the counter. It sniffs at the knife and meows almost pointingly at you. Don't worry, I'm okay. It was just an... You! I don't know why I read that. You watch as the cat starts to lick the blood. Yeah, but enthusiastically at the blood on the knife. At your blood. You're shocked that the time that you come to your senses, the knife has been completely licked clean. The cat sits back, staring at you. You feel a little uneasy. Sure, cats are meat-eating predators, but that was a little weird. Not really, because my cat kind of does the same thing every once in a while. I mean, it's not going to attack me or anything. I would hope, right? Right? Same thought on the screen, right there. So you're not a cat expert, but that was definitely not something an ordinary cat would do. Kind of would, actually. Right? Well, regardless, you're not about to abandon a cat in need while it's still raining outside. Not after all your efforts. You were going to take it to the shelter tomorrow anyway. Just one night of awkwardness. Weird or not, it's just a cat. The rest of the evening, unfortunately, goes downhill from here. Even after covering up your fingers cut with the bandage, the cat keeps trying to lick at the wound. While you're still eating your sandwich, while you're cleaning up the kitchen, while trying to watch the TV, you gently push it away every time, but you're starting to get worried at the strange behavior. What if it's going to taste for blood? What if it's got a taste for blood and thinks you're food now? You're not sure what you'll do if it starts to get more aggressive. You keep thinking about the cat food sitting in the corner, untouched. Meow. Come on, enough already. Shove it away a little more forcefully this time. Out of annoyance and illiteracy. You feel bad immediately, but before you can do anything, the cats meow sharply at you and dashes off. Around the corner and into the hall. You sigh deeply. At this point, you're just worried that it's going to take a little bite out of you in your sleep. Sleep. I got a slack doll now. Maybe a vet will have an idea how to calm it down. You can only hope, but you don't have many other options left other than tossing the cat out into the rain. After finding the number of a local vet, you pick up your landline. I don't have to read that. The lights just went out? Oh, kitty, you got some explaining to do. Great. Just great. Rain must have knocked out the power. You check your cell phone only to find that it's out of batteries. You must have forgotten to charge it before leaving it out earlier. The outing has been so spur of the moment that it had no doubt messed with your usual routine. They usually do. You grab a flashlight and turn it on. It's quiet. Too quiet. Did the rain stop? But then, why did the power go out? You look outside. The sky is pitch black. What time is it? You turn to check the clock. The cat sits on top of your digital clock staring at you. Thinking now, you realize the clock shouldn't be working at all with the power outage, but the numbers are lit up. Uh-oh. And going completely haywire. The cat stares at you. It's completely still. You'd think it was a statue if you didn't know any better. It's not giving any indication that it's alive. It's not blinking. It's not even breathing, but its eyes. This isn't normal. You're afraid. You want to run, but you're afraid of letting the cat out of your sight. You consider tossing the cat out after all. But as soon as the thought enters your head, you feel a sharp urge to vomit. Those eyes, its eyes hold you still, even with your flashlight trained on it. Its pupils are large. I didn't read that, thank you. The flashlight flickers. The cat is gone. Fear immediately grips your mind. The silence, punctuated with a rapid pumping of blood in your heart, is overwritten as your ears slowly start to pick up the sound of static all around you. How is the clock working with no power? You don't know why such a question matters at the moment. But you feel as if having the answer will make sense out of everything that's happened. The order will be restored. But no answer comes to mind. You back away from the clock. You feel as if the air coils tightly and abruptly in response, like a predator prepared to pounce. But waiting for your next move. But you're afraid to move. You're afraid to even take a breath. But you can't stay still forever, right? Whatever is watching you, you can already feel its impatience. It's too eager. You don't know how to do this. You don't know how you do this. But you can make sense of it clearly, as if it had whispered. Let's play. Right into your ear. Right into your soul. It won't let you wait it out. Not that you could ever, even if you did. You can't stay here. You have to run. With this thought, a sudden primal instinct awakens in you, making it tear into yourself into a hasty burst of movement. Out of action. But you're still weak from the fierce grip on your mind. Your legs tangled together under you in your haste as you fall to the ground. Ow. A sharp pain explodes in the center of your foot. At first, you think you've broken your ankle, but something warm and wet trickles down the length of your foot, pulling underneath. You hear the sound of metal scraping on tiles after the skidding across the floor, as if it's been kicked. Winded from your fall, you look up in the daze and see the object glinting, the strange light coming from it outside. The light pouring in from your now open front door. Good Lord. Thoughts of how, when, who, what, in regards to your inexplicably open door, screech to a halt. Your brain finally identifies the metallic object you've been staring at. Ah! It's your kitchen knife. I don't read enough. And still tinted red from your earlier blunder. That's not right. Wasn't it completely licked clean by the... You gulp dryly at the pain of your foot. You barely have time to wonder how the knife ended up in your living room floor to be stepped on. Instead of resting on your cutting board in the kitchen where you left it, when you simply spy something in the darkness just beyond the knife. It spies right back at you. A pair of glowing, golden eyes come forward as the cat emerges from the shadows into the light from your doorway. It pads lightly over the knife, as if it's skipping into light. They usually do. Just like that. It bends down to lap at the blood dripping from the blade. Ah. Good. Your senses slowly begin to overwhelm you. The chill of the air as it starts to suffocate you under its weight. The sound of your shaky breaths, discordant against the static, now piercing of your skull. The dryness in your tongue spreading into your throat. The incomprehensible sight of the stray you've taken in. Looking away at your kitchen knife, once again, completely clean. The scent of blood from the fresh wound on your foot. Blood? Golden eyes slide up to you as if your response to your sudden realization. Blood? You're hurt. Your foot is bleeding. You're bleeding. You're bleeding. The cat barely moves. Shoulders twitching as if it's just considering the act of pouncing forward. It might actually do that. Who knows? But you're already on your feet and out the door. You run, or rather limp, down the empty street. Why would you do that? You just left the cat in the house. Who knows what it's going to do? The sky is black and bleeding red. But there's a strange light emitting from nowhere that casts everything else in white. The house, the trees, the road, even you. Everything. Except your blood. You can barely glimpse the bloody imprints your injured foot leaves in your wake with every impact it makes with the ground. It hurts. It hurts. But you can't stop. You don't stop. Not when the shadows grow around you. Not when you feel the gaze of eyes all over you. Not when the road ahead of you is darkened by a long shadow of something behind you. Even then, you don't stop running because... cat. If that's the cat right there, just ahead of you, then... what in the world is behind you? I think I'm gonna look behind me. Huh? Interesting. How very, very interesting. Ending 0, it begins. The weather is absolutely perfect today. That's a good sign, right? Maybe your luck is finally starting to turn around. You tentatively allow yourself to feel excited for the possibilities of where you could go or what you could do. Maybe even who you could meet. You're so deep in thought that you almost missed it. Huh? What was that? Curiosity guiding your steps, you follow the sound to the entrance of a lonely alleyway. The sunlight only managed to reach down in between the tall buildings on either side. You timidly enter the alley and walk forward. The loose gravel and scattered debris on the ground softening your steps. Meow meow. Finally, the sound source comes into view in the warm, almost ethereal light of the alley. I do not apologize for my lack of verbal skills and reading skills. At the end of the alley, in a big cardboard box. It's a cat. Again. Guess it should have been obvious. Meow. It's an interesting looking cat. Pretty yellow eyes shine like gold among the dark sea of black fur. Put his paws on the edge of the box and looks up at you. Meow. Well, so? You look so familiar, right? Cat's like, yeah. Then again, it is a cat. Not many different ways for a standard black cat to look after all. This one sure is a cutie, though. Just look. It's not glaring at you or hissing at you for getting close like this, like other stray cats have in the past. It's just sitting there patiently, waiting for you to do something. So let's not take the cat home this time. Sadly, as cute as the cat is, you'd never take this thing home with you. You just can't take it home with you. You're a responsible adult. Yeah. You are. With rent and bills to pay for, not to mention you need to buy food and to survive too. There's no way you could care for a cat long term, right? You could barely afford the little outing of your day off. What to do? Leave cat. You don't think it's a good idea to get the cat's hopes up of having someone to look after it if you're not willing to commit? What if it gets attached and somehow it tracks you down back to your home? It said something, I don't know what it said. Can I go back? Never get away from it. Yeah, okay. Something about you never get away from it then. Stand up, the cat watches your every move. You make it halfway out of the alley when the cat meows almost pitifully at you. It's so sad. Ignore. Nope. You need to not nip this in the bud. You need to nip this in the bud and get on with your day. It's what's best for both of you. You leave the alley and continue on your way. Wait, what was I doing? In all the excitement of dealing with your furry dilemma, you've forgotten that you hadn't decided on what you were going to do for your day off. You know what? Let's go to the dog park. We're going to cheat on the cat. You decided to take a stroll in the park or something. The only one with a walking distance is the nearby dog park. You think it'll make you feel better. First you get to see a cute cat today, now you get to see a cute dog. Several of them, in fact. The park is bustling with owners and their canine companions. Playing frisbee, fetch, running, jumping, even napping. Such cuties, whatever. Like you'd want anything to do with these mangy mutts. Aha. What's wrong? You didn't think that it... You decided to move on. The dogs are so adorable. You want to pet every single one you come across. But you know not all owners are cool with strangers just walking up and manhandling their pets. Not all dogs appreciate it either. So you stroll around the path trying to exude a welcoming aura that will beckon one of these cute doggies to you. You don't have to wait very long. Ruff. Look at this buddy. Stop at the smallest, cutest puppy you've ever seen scampers up to you, blocking your path. Why would you want to kick the puppy? Why would you want to kill the what? Alright, let's pick up the puppy. You pick up the puppy and what? Hold on. You just barely managed to rein in the reflex to throw the puppy as far away as possible. What? With shaking hands, you quickly place the puppy on the grass. Take several jerky steps back. The owner seems confused by your reaction to the puppy. but you just wave at them in a daze before hastily stumbling away. You're not feeling so great about being at the park at the moment. Maybe you should leave. Yeah, let's leave the park. Why not? Good. Okay, let's go watch a movie. It's been a while since a film came out that looked interesting enough for you to drag yourself to a movie theater. There's a showing of one such film at the old theater. The movie was a little too niche to be picked up by the new cinema that opened right across the street. It's okay though, you're not exactly a fan of the crowds. And nothing ruins the experience of watching a new movie for you more than a noisy audience. Let's go to the old theater. You eagerly buy your ticket from the kind of old man in the booth and head inside. The kind of old man. Not kind old, the kind of. He's kind of old. He's just a little old. It's bearing of any trace of other people, and the decor looks like it hasn't changed since the 80s. Maybe even the 70s. Maybe it hasn't. That's what you were counting on. You consider buying some popcorn. But you can't help be concerned that everything at the concession stand might be expired. Maybe from the 70s. You move on and walk through the halls, finally locating the theater design on your ticket stub. Designated, not designed. As expected, the theater your movie will be playing is completely empty. Perfect. You pick a spot right in the middle, even counting those seats, and taking into consideration the gap of the staircase. As you settle in, the dim lights fade away, leaving the room pitch black for a few seconds. Before the screen flickers on, no commercials or trailers pop up. The movie just begins. Please, you shrug and let yourself immersed in the opening scene. But just as you're getting into the premise, the doors open behind you, momentarily casting light onto the room and ruining the atmosphere. You hold in a frustrated sigh. It's a public establishment after all. The place can't exactly afford to stay open if you're the only one customer. You try to refocus on the movie, but you sense the new presence slowly shifting around the theater before heading in your general direction. Wah! Oh, that's a guy. You gape in utter disbelief as the stranger shuffles down the aisle, only to sit right in front of you. Don't you hate it when that happens? There's no one else here, and plenty of spaces to sit. The stranger is also unusually tall. I'm usually that guy, actually. Even with the stadium-like arrangement of the seats being on a somewhat steep incline, they're completely blocking your view. Move to another spot. Let's just avoid. You don't want to risk escalating the situation further. The whole thing is already making you uneasy. Why would they choose to sit right in front of you? Surely they know you wouldn't be able to see past them. Shaking your head with a passive-aggressive scoff in the stranger's direction, you reluctantly pick another, less perfect seat in the theater. But, as you settle down, you see the strange person get up, only to once sit right down in the seat directly in front of you. You look around somewhat helplessly as if waiting for someone to silently agree with you about how odd all this is. Or at least inform you that it's an elaborate prank. But there's no one else here with you, and that's how you always liked it, but can't help but think maybe it would just be nice to have someone else here that's not meant being alone with this weird jerk. Let's move to another spot. You move again. And again, they sit right in front of you. You bristle, annoyed and a little humiliated. Are they just getting a kick out of this or something? You wasted enough time with this jerk that you don't even know what's going on with this movie anymore. Leave the theater. This is too weird. Feeling uncomfortable, you decide to leave the theater. There's still enough time in the day left to do something else. Now what? Let's go to the new cinema. I don't know why, but you don't really feel great about the idea of being alone right now. Deciding to wait for the movie you've been anticipating to be available on DVD or streaming, you join the long line outside of the new cinema. By the time you reach the ticket booth, you just want to get inside. So you pick a movie at random and take your ticket from the tired-looking teenager manning the booth. The decor is chic and sleek, and inside the busting with people. It's not what you're usually into, but it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice not being alone, even if you feel a little lonely watching families of groups of friends laughing among themselves. You get some popcorn, but the lines at the concession stands are long and the prices are criminal anyways. You go through the halls. You follow the signs to the theater designated on your ticket before heading inside. Sigh. You sigh at the sight of the absolutely crowded theater. You head towards the seat only to be told by the person next to it that it's being saved for someone. This happens a few more times before you finally manage to get yourself settled into a seat annoyingly off-center of the screen. That's alright, it's no big deal. But the screen is at least visible. It's not a little too close. You sit and grit your teeth and bear it. The lights fade out, but the chatter doesn't. The rest of the audience seem content to talk through the commercials and even through the trailers. You figure the chatter will stop when the movie actually begins. But it doesn't even get slightly quieter as the opening scene starts to play out. You sigh out loud, not thinking anyone would hear you anyway. This is why you avoid movie theaters like plague. That's the cat again. Suddenly the screen changes, showing the face of a black cat. A familiar black cat. Confused murmurs fill the room, but then the cat on the screen meows. Okay. Sorry, cat. Sorry, man. The sound is strange, and not at all like any cat should sound. Haunting, almost melodic. And layered as if made of multiple voices of different creatures. Creatures that will probably never say that. You sit in confusion, wondering why you haven't already gotten up and left to complain to the theater staff. But then you hear it. Scattered and dissonant at first, but among the crowd, people start to chat along with the cat on the screen. It's the cult of the cat. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Soon the entire room is chanting in perfect unison. Everyone's staring inherently at the cat on the screen. Speaking of cat, there's a cat right here. What are you doing? Sorry, I have a cat break, an actual cat break right now. Cat needs pets. What do you want from me? What do you want? Don't go in there. Do not go in there, please. I don't feel like shouting on the microphone. Anyway. You're feeling strangely drawn to the screen yourself. But the compulsion to stare blankly like others isn't that strong. For now. Also, you start to notice out of the corner of your eye that some of the people in your immediate vicinity are looking at you. No. They're outright staring holes into you, even as if they continue chanting. They don't miss a beat as they slowly begin to frown at you in blatant disapproval because you left the cat. Their scowl deepen. As time goes on, they're getting impatient. Yeah, you know what? Let's try to blend in. Thinking fast, you look at the screen and begin to chant in tandem with the crowd. That's not going to work. You feel the harshness of their collective gaze start to ebb away. Never heard that word before. Then the air in the theater becomes lighter once again. You release air shakily and just realizing that you've been holding on your breath earlier. You feel stuck. Surely you can just get up and leave now. After whatever all that was. The people around you all seem fine now. but they're not. No telling if they get aggressive at you for even moving too much. Never mind outright getting up and leaving. He decided to let this run its course. Hopefully someone will come along, right? Or at least turn off the film. You continue to chant along with everyone. Forever and ever, until you die of starvation. You try to look around and gauge the other's emotional state, but you can't seem to look away from the screen. You try again, but you're still locked into eye contact with the cat on screen. You attempt to physically force your line of vision away. You steel your nerves, ready to throw yourself to the ground if you need to, but your body only gets as far as tensing up for a moment before completely loosening itself up again, making you lay back limply onto your seat. You think you should be panicking right about now, but even your brain feels limp. Your thoughts are vaguely muted pastel pink, airy, sickeningly sweet and loosely spun, like cotton candy. You like cotton candy. You think you shouldn't mind your thoughts and body being like cotton candy either, so why get up and ruin that? It's nice here. You're more at peace than you've ever felt before in such a crowded room. Still chanting. You've never felt so aligned and in tune with another person, let alone with an entire room of complete strangers. You're not alone. Out of the corner of your eye, a person next to you starts to sink back even further into the chair. They sink more, then more. They're not slouching or reclining, but more like they're... what, melting? Yeah, I had a feeling. Deflating. Their skin bunches up and wrinkles like fabric, as if their muscles, their bones, have started to disintegrate. Their eyes dim before sinking into their sockets. Their mouth, still attempting to chant, falls open over a cut-off nya, gaping as the word ends in an awful hiss, a final weak release of air. You muse thoughtfully about whether or not you should be distressed at the sight. But even then, the blanket of peace doesn't leave you. Suddenly, from the pile of skin and clothes next to you, you see a lump moving. It's a cat. You watch in a dazed fascination as the lump makes its way to the part of the skin where the head used to be, and out of the mouth crawls a tiny black cat. Well, that's cute. You can hear a familiar hissing sound all around you now as the unified chants start to fade, only to be replaced with the faint mewling of kittens. Finally, your voice is the only one chanting, still human, and alone. Again. You don't want that. You can't go back to that. Not again. Not again. Please. But just then, you go completely limp. Your body feels light, but it might as well weigh several tons, because you realize quite suddenly that you can't move. Not an inch. You can't shift your eyes to look around, not even breathe. But somehow, chant continues to creak weakly from your mouth. A few kittens come forth, perch themselves onto the chair around you, watching your sinking body, mewling as they wait for the youngest sibling to emerge from you. Dozens of glowing eyes peer down at you, and as your eyes start to cave into the sockets of your softening skull, you manage to make out the silhouette of a familiar cat perching on the seat right in front of you. Your vision finally fades, as the same hiss of air expels itself from your mouth. The last thing you sense is something small and alive shifting eagerly under your skin. Ending 18. Happy birthday. Okay then. Well, what's next? You're walking. Right, of course. It's the first time in a while that you felt like going out. And you're actually glad you did. Alright. Don't take cat home. Leave cat. Ignore. Let's go to the carnival this time. You spend the day at the carnival. Ferris wheel, roller coaster, Pharaoh boat. Rides you've been on before. Hoops, coin toss, balloon darts. Games you've played before. Funnel cake, popcorn, cotton candy. Food you've eaten before. All things you've enjoyed before. You're suddenly surrounded by groups of people having fun together. Not suddenly, just surrounded. Laughing, playing, eating, taking pictures, making memories. And then there's you. Look at you. What's wrong with you? The sun hasn't started to set yet. It's still high in the sky, but it will soon. You start to wonder if maybe you should just go home for the day. When you stop in your tracks, you see something new. An attraction you've never seen before. A maze of funhouse mirrors. Sounds kind of lame, honestly. I've been there before. This isn't even a line to get in. But then, what else is there to do? Something else, apparently. Oh, let's enter the maze. It's fine. Let's go into the maze. A few rooms in, you notice that all the mirrors aren't even all that weird. Some just show you looking back at yourself, which they usually do, the mirrors. A little bored and a little tired, a lot tired. And so very, very... Maybe this was a mistake. Why did you think going into a maze of mirrors was a good idea? Even if it was something new to experience. I can't do this today. Turn around and head back the way you came. You bump into a mirror. Oh, you're stuck now. What? Where's the exit? You try again, only to find another mirror blocking your way. Yep, yep, that's the way it works. By the time you're all turned around, you realize that the way you came in is completely gone. Okay, don't panic. I just have to keep going forward, right? Step through the only opening you can find nearly trip over something on the ground. You bend down and pick it up. You? In your hands rests a warm-looking flashlight. A worn-looking flashlight. Good lord. Curious, you flick it on. Huh? The light doesn't go very... Crap, the lights. Did the power go out, or did the attraction operator forget you were in here? How long have you been in here, actually? You pull out your phone to check the time, or maybe call the police. Your phone is dead. Of course it is. You grip the flashlight in your hand. The light it emitted earlier was dim enough for you to know that there's probably not much juice left. Not just juice. Good lord. Best to reserve it for a worst case scenario and feel your way out. Yeah, you can do this. You take a calming breath. Well, forward we go. Hello, daring adventurer. Who said that? Welcome to the Mirror Maze. Would you like to how to navigate this maze? You know what? Yes, I need help. Once again, welcome to the Mirror Maze. You're in a bit of a jam, but don't worry. You're in good hands. Or rather, good paws. Uh-oh. Missed the cat. See these little cuties here? They'll be doing their best to guide you through the maze. Aren't they generous? When you enter a room, the emergency light will flash. Then you see the past before you for a second, okay? And also what lies beyond them. Whenever you see these kind kitties, just go where they are and you'll reach the next room. Unfortunately, they're not the only things in there. Oh boy. It's highly suggested that you refrain from following any of our other guests. They can be sneaky or distracting, but they're always hostile. So please take caution when advancing to the next room. Of course, this wouldn't be much of a mirror maze without mirrors. Of course it wouldn't. Can they hurt you? No, they're just mirrors, silly. They can't do anything at all. And you can't do anything to them either. They're just obstacles you can't pass through. Go left. Alright, let's save. Go center. Or go right. Choice is yours. Though, If you find a room with no helpful kitties in sight, and all the paths lead to a mirror or something else, it is recommended that you stay put. And just maybe it will work out instead. Now for your navigation tools. Kitties. That flashlight you found doesn't have much juice left. It only lets you get a quick extra peek at your surroundings about 5 times. So try not to use it all up at once. Alright. You can keep track of your progress to the rooms up to the left. Okay. This guy here. 3 lives, and you've got 3 lives, so be careful to avoid the less friendly guests lurking around. Only 3 lives, you ask? Because you're soft and squishy. I only get a 3rd. It won't take much to damage you beyond repair. And besides, you're human. Humans only have 1 life. Yes? And yet, you get 3. True. Good point. Don't you think? You ought to show a little more gratitude? Maybe. And that's the end of your tutorial. Hopefully it was helpful. Are you ready to play? Alright. Alright, there's a few options. I'm just going to go ahead and play. 3. Okay. Let's go left. Ow. Oh, I see. Go, I guess right. Oh! What was that? Okay, left. Flashlight. Stay. Okay, center. Right. 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 Center. Center. Stay. Left. Okay, center. Get in there. Right. Center. Left. Center. Almost there. Center. Left. Left. Stay. You see it, the exit. You run forward, but as you do, the scenery shifts. Just slightly at first. But you're running too fast to stop yourself from colliding into the glass. Except, you don't quite go into the glass. You don't exactly collide with it either. You simply pass through it. And on the other side, you see an endless white void and... Okay. Dozens of you. Hundreds of you wandering around. Aimlessly. Faceless. And empty. So empty and listless, they don't even acknowledge your presence. You try to turn back. But the glass doesn't give. Past the glass is a kitty. A familiar black cat walks up and looks at you. You think it meows at you, but you can't make it out the sound. It tilts its head, but then walks away. The glass goes dark. Then you watch helplessly as it disappears completely. Okay. You're trapped. With only yourself as company. Well, that sucks. I don't like that company at all. MD19, you beat you beat the maze. All right, so can you let me go? Your quest is forfeit. Your quest to forfeit is denied. Let me out of here. Screaming is not allowed in the maze. Can you turn off the flashlight, please? The flashlight will give you 7 second chances now. You'll see. Okay. Alright, let's see what they did. 3, 2, 1, go. I did not see that. I'm assuming. Oh my god, why? Why would they do this to me? Center. Oh my god. This is terrible. This is so bad. Ah! That was rude. Okay. There's no need for that. Center. Stay. Left. Left. Center. Stay. Okay, right. Center. Right. Stay. And now we're at the end. You see the exit. Let's see. The scenery shifts slightly at first. Except, don't collide with it either. Dozens aimlessly faceless and empty, listless. Let's see. The cat again walks away. Trapped only with yourself as company. You beat the maze. Okay. So it just makes it harder, pretty much. That's cool. Alright, let's feed the cat this time. Cat must be hungry, right? Can't imagine that it's hard. Has had much to eat. Wow. You can't imagine that it's had much to eat if it's so attached to its box. Though it doesn't exactly seem malnourished either. Sure, it must have left the box to search for food then. For some reason, something in the back of your mind tells you that's not the case. And not to think of it any further. Well, either way. You can't exactly enjoy your day out knowing you left behind a hungry cat. Especially when you could have done something to help. So, what to do about the hungry kitty? Check the pockets, or I can question mark. Not yet. So, what to do about the hungry kitty? Okay, well, let's look around the area then. Glance around the dark, dingy alley, only to see garbage bags, trash bins, and empty cardboard boxes. Scattered litter here and there. If there was something for the cat to eat, surely you would have found out by now, right? But you don't want to just give up so easily. You keep looking. Or you could just go buy something and give it to it. That would be... You only look and see garbage. You sniff and only smell garbage. You listen. Scritch, scritch. Just barely make out the sound of a faint scurrying by a trash bin a few feet away. Quietly, oh so quietly, you creep over to the men. And... you lunge. You weren't very graceful in your attempt. You stumble and knocked out over a stack of nearby boxes full of more trash. But as you stand up, you grasp in your hand. There's a mouse. We have a gray hand. The mouse squeaks and shrieks all in distress, wriggling, struggling desperately in your grip. You're holding it too tightly, and carefully for it to able to bite or scratch you, though. It wears itself out eventually and looks up at you with black eyes. It's completely at your mercy. You know what? Let's go ahead and feed it to the cat. The mouse looks scared, as if it senses your intentions. Oh my god. It weakly starts to struggle again. Or you could just, you know, go buy something. You might not have much money, but the cat tears it apart instantly. Of course it does. Oh. The mouse pain squeaks and squeals pierce through you until they're abruptly cut off. Satisfied, the cat meows happily at you, red tinting its fangs. The cat curls up in now blood-stained box and goes to sleep. You take the chance to leave. A well-fed cat will likely follow you home after all. And cute as the cat is, you really can't afford to pet right now. Still feeling a little guilty about the mouse, you decide to just go home. Okay. Home it goes. After a long walk home, you finally enter your apartment. You head straight for your room and collapse on your bed, falling into a fitful sleep. Later, you wake up. Scritch, scritch. Oh no, the mouse. The mice are after me. The squeaking and scurrying noises all around you. So loud and constant they sound like screams. And darkness of your room. See the shifting shadows of hundreds of mice surrounding your bed. You try to run. And they... You could have just bought something. You know what I mean? Cat food or something. You fall off the bed in your attempt to escape. The hordes of mice dodging you as you crash to the ground. Okay. Can't stand up. Looking back and squinting in the dark, you just about make out the source of your pain. The flesh and tendons of your heels and ankles are mangled, bitten through your socks. Desperate, you crawl with your only arm towards the door. The mice descend upon you, biting into your skin. Yeah, you kind of deserve it. See those eyes in the mice? The mouse. So cute, man. Why don't you do that to the mouse? You still reach up for the doorknob. Your arm, heavy, weighed down by the mice clinging to it with little claws and tiny teeth. You manage to jostle the doorknob, enough for the door to slowly swing open. Plop. It's usually what happens when you die. Oh. But your outstretched arm suddenly falls to the ground lifeless. The mice manage to chew through the flesh and bone of your now dismembered limb. Dismembered limb? Dismembered? I didn't realize it was a month. As a few mice creep forward to curiously inspect your arm, you stare blankly at it for a moment before sliding your gaze up. The newly opened doorway sits a familiar-looking mouse. It stares at you. The darkness in its beady black eyes. You can't begin to measure their depths. Okay. Nor the hatred pouring out from within them. All of it. Aimed at you. Aha! You collapse, head hitting the floor as your other arm is eaten away as well. You're not sure how you're still conscious, but the pain should be indescribable. And yet, you just feel a cold sense of loss. The mice have clustered along your back now, gnawing and ripping their way between your shoulder blades, into your back, into your chest. You weakly cough up blood. They must have damaged something important. You feel something being pulled out of you. And in between the moments that blankets and darkness fade out of your vision. What? What am I saying? You hear something wet plop on the ground in front of you. Oh. I told you that happens when you die. You pry your eyes open to see it in front of the mouse. Yeah, weirdly shaped red with your blood and pulsing, and oh, that's your heart, isn't it? The other mice all descend upon it, abandoning your half-eaten body. You're losing a lot of blood and your heart. You feel sleepy, but you also feel anger. Yes. So much anger. How dare they? How dare they? The last thing you see before your vision fails you. A pair of glowing eyes leering from the darkness beyond the doorway. You hear squeaks and screeches of terror all around you. Low yells, deep snarls, gnashing teeth, tearing flesh. As your remaining senses leave you, you smile weakly with the last of your strength. When something with a soft, slightly damp, sticky fur nuzzles your cheek. Wow, purr. Good kitty. Ending 27. Well fed. Also, not very well read. Okay. So, we'll try to get one more ending out of this. So, you know what? Let's change it up. We'll take the cat home on this bright and sunny day. Meow. Well, why not? Right? Happy cat. You barely reach out your arm before the cat eagerly leaps into them and climbs up your shoulders. It busts its head onto your temple, nuzzling against it. You can't help but smile as the cat's enthusiasm. Let's get you out of here, yeah? On the way home, you briefly consider getting cat food. But that would be a waste of time. Because it's not interested in cat food. You sure get the odd feeling and move on. You live in a modest apartment. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. One you live alone in. So it feels weird having another living being inside of it after so long. Even if it's just a cat. Alright, this is pretty much like gonna be the same as the previous one. Do something with the cat. Like what? Let's see. Let's pet the cat. It's not every day you have access to a cute, fluffy animal. Well, what else is there to do but pet it in your heart's content, to your heart's content? You sit on the floor in your living room and click your tongue to call the cat over. Murph. The cat dashes over to you, immediately climbing onto your lap. Poor thing. You just want some attention, don't you? I knew it. You carefully pet the cat. A rub behind the ear, a scratch under the chin, a smooth sweep along the back. Good? You keep petting the cat in your lap, enjoying the bonding time together. But the cat starts to get restless after a while. They usually do. Let's do something else. You don't want to clean the cat. That's the last thing you want to do. They clean themselves. Let's feed the cat. The cat looks hungry, so you decide to feed it. You're regretting not stopping for food earlier, as you don't have much left. Grocery shopping day is tomorrow, after all. You head to the kitchen and click your tongue, ensuring the cat follows after you. It leaps nimbly into the kitchen counter and watches as you search for meal options. Let's see. You find some things you expect. A can of tuna in the pantry. Some leftover meatloaf in the fridge. And what's that? You realize there's a tightly sealed Tupperware at the bottom shelf of the fridge. The hell you mean? You live there. Who else would have put it there? The foul odor is leaking from the container. Whatever's inside can't be safe for human consumption. But maybe for cat consumption. But the cat seems excited at it, practically salivating over it. Still, you're the caretaker here. You're the one who needs to decide what's best to feed a hungry cat. So you'll feed it. Mystery food. Let's go, mystery food. Is this really a good idea? Probably. Because cats will eat anything. Especially my cat. Fine. I guess if this is what you want. You open the container and... Ugh. You just barely managed to keep it from throwing up. You just barely managed to keep from throwing up. Just barely. The stench's overwhelming. Give me a minute. You hazard a look at the contents of the container, but you honestly can't understand what you're supposed to be looking at. Everything is just mashed together. What exactly everything consists of is a mystery you're more than happy to keep unsolved. Different shapes, different sizes, different textures. Not the color, though. It's all the same color. The most unfortunate looking shade of gray you've ever seen. Tinted with a nauseatingly wet green film over top. Herc. Am I supposed to warm this up, or... I don't really know how to serve it. Any utensil or plate that touches it is getting thrown out immediately. No exceptions. Your hands are going to be scrubbed with soap and hot water to within an inch of their lives after this. You decide against putting this crap in your microwave. Yeah, that's a good point. You doubt it would taste or smell any better warm. Not wanting to hold it anymore, you shake your head and practically toss the container next to the cat on the counter. And he eats it up. The cat enthusiastically dives for the toxic-looking sludge, sniffing it as if savoring the scent. You turn to the fridge and close it. You've lost your appetite. You're about to head to the bathroom to wash your hands for the next hour or so when... Crunch. Ow. Sharp pain in your foot causes you to stumble. Catch yourself in the kitchen sink and look to see that the tip of your sock is red. And then the red is still slowly spreading to the rest of your sock. Are you bleeding? You quickly reach down and pull the sock off to see the damage. I hate when I have to do that, when I step on something or anything like that. I hate to have to look at my foot because I know it's going to... It usually doesn't look that bad, but I just feel it's going to look like the worst thing ever. And when I do see it, it's going to make it worse, hurt even worse. Your middle toe is not there anymore. Gone. It's just gone. Yeah, it's about what I would expect sometimes, honestly. Just a stump is left in its place, steadily leaking blood onto the floor. And you clumsily step back as if it would help you get away from what you were seeing. The blood trail simply follows your movements. 911. You have to call 911. Phone, where's the... Splat. Your tongue is... What's happening to me? Ah, it's being eaten by the cat. Oh no, you slowly look over to find the cat is still eating. Completely unbothered by your suffering. Not bothering trying to stop the blood from dribbling out of your mouth. You keep watching in a daze as the cat happily chews at a gross piece of... Wait, that's... You look more closely at the mystery food in the cat's jaws. It looks vaguely familiar. It looks like a tongue. Ah. Before you can even think about doing anything to stop it, the cat dives into the container again and bites into a piece that kind of looks like, what, a toe? You collapse into the floor, clutching your torso. You writhe around in the blood-streaked tiles, crying. Something inside of you just blurg. Blood pours out from deep within you. Whatever that was felt important. And now it's probably gone too. It hurts. It hurts so much. You weakly try to reach up to the cat on the counter above you. Your vision blurs from the effort, from the pain, from your tears, from... Your eyes. Your eyes. You fall limply back into the floor. You're leaking blood all over. How do you know you can't see? From all over. Your foot, your mouth, your insides, your eye sockets. You can feel your life fading away too. That's fine. If it means not feeling the pain of losing another part of you, then hopefully the cat will take its time eating your eyeballs and give you the time to just Ending 10. You are what you eat. Okay. So this game has, gosh, so what's here, 27? It looks like about 40 endings. And I have, 40 right here. It says 40. And I've only found 5 so far, so it's a lot to do. And I think I'm going to call it here. Although I did enjoy this, and I'll come back to this. Absolutely come back to this. And yeah, if you're interested, the link will be in the description to where to find this. And thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good one.